Hi, my name is Mike, and I play in a band called Pentimento, and we had gotten some requests about how to play the song Unless, which is the first track on our full-length record. So I would like to teach you how to play it, if that's okay. And this video is in this like amber tone for two reasons. One, because I'd like to trick people into thinking I'm more attractive than I actually am. Two, because I said amber because I don't know if it's sepia or how it's actually pronounced. So we'll say it's amber. And anyway, I should probably start off by mentioning that we play this song in standard tuning, but it is down a full step. So it's in D standard. And the first chord begins on 5. On your E string, 7 on your A string, and 6 on the D string. And you're palm muting this entire first part, so you get this noise, that chord noise, whatever you call it, I don't really know. And then we're going to go for the second chord, which is 7 on the E, 7 on the A, and then 9 on the D string. We're going to move it up just to a normal power chord, which is going to be 7 again on the E, 9 and 9 on the A and D string, and then we're going to invert that so it's 9 on the E string, 7 on the A string, and then 9 on the D string. So it should sound like this. And we end that progression or that measure with that little you don't have to, no pressure, but that's just what we do. Anyway, when the song kicks in, I'm going to show you some chords that are going to be extremely common throughout the entire song and through all of our songs. If you've ever seen any of our videos before, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The chords start, this progression starts with an open A string that is out of tune, and not really. It's not supposed to be out of tune, but mine is. And I can't fix it because I'm too fucking punk. Anyway, you got an open A string, a 2 on your D, and 2 on your D. You got 2 on the D and then 4 on the G string. And you're keeping these B and E strings open throughout this measure and honestly like the entire song. And that's just a thing that we do and you're going to have to accept it. So we start off like this. That's what the chord sounds like, and we move just to a power chord shape on 7, so it's like 7, 9, 9, and then again with your B and E strings open. So you do that. Then you go down to 2, and it's just a normal power chord on 2, but we're keeping the B and E strings open, and then up to 4. So. The end of the measure each time has this like very dissonant feel to it, and we get that by adding the 4 on the E string and muting the A string. So you're using the same shape from this chord, but the final chord is actually, and it's ugly sounding, and that's how we like it. So it goes like this. When you start the verse, we're using this riff noodly thing. It's not noodly. I don't really know why I said that. None of our stuff is noodly. We don't noodle. But it's got this picking pattern to it that I'm sure you could pick up on just by listening to the song. But it starts on 2 on the G string, and we're keeping the B and E strings open. And all it does is just ascend on the G string from 2 to 6 to 8 to 9. So it's just. And you can play it the right way if you want to, or you can fuck it up like I just did. It's totally up to you. After that, the rhythm guitar starts on a progression that is, I mean, it's important now, I guess, but it's going to be more important later when I'm trying to show you these chord shapes because there's some weird muting involved, possibly some swear words. I don't know, but it's got this rhythm, and it's just this chord again, and then we use this chord, which is just an inversion of this, which is 4, 2, 4. So we're keeping the shape with the index finger and the ring finger, if that's comfortable for you, on the on the D and the G string, with an open A. So the beginning is, then you got 4 on the A string, and then we're gonna mute the A string. Actually, I like to use the tip of my index finger. You can use magic. I don't know what you want to do. I really don't, but it's up to you. The point is, the A string is muted, and we play an open E, and then we use our ring finger again, and instead of 4 on the A string, we're going to go 4 on the E string. And the rhythm sounds like this, and this is for the second 2 measures of that first verse, so it's... And once we get to the end of that, we're just going to hang out on 2, this power chord type deal, 2, 4, 4, open, open. Starts on the A string, so. And that's how we get into this little pre-chorus deal that we have. So it will sound like this, the end of the first verse into the pre-chorus part. I don't think I should bother showing you the chords because you've seen them 1,000 times already, even though we're like only halfway through the song. I know that sucks, but anyway, it sounds like this. And then we just do this little descending thing from 4 to 2. Starts on the A string, 4 on the A, 2 on the A. And it's just power chords, but the B and the E strings are open for business. So that's what it sounds like. That's how we go into the chorus. The chorus is super easy. We start on 7 on the A string, and we descend to this open A deal, open A, 2, 4. And then when we ascend, we actually are including the blue note in this progression, which would be 3, but it's just a normal power chord that you play through. So you're gonna, when you leave off there, you go 2, 3, 4. And I don't know why we do this, because it sounds stupid. But that's how you do it. When you are finishing the measures in the chorus, we have another little not noodly thing, riff sort of, but not that cool, which is you're going to use 9 on the D string and an open A string. Start there, and then you descend to 6 on the D string. So it's just, that's what it sounds like. But that's how we finish out the measure. So this is what the chorus sounds like. When we start the second verse, we go back to that riff that we did from the beginning. That starts on 2 on your G string. And the rest of that verse is palm muted, and the chords are, once again, and then when we finish that out and go back into the second chorus, we just hang out on that B. So essentially it just is going to sound like, I'm not going to bother explaining the strumming pattern because you're smarter than I am. I know it, and you can do it. I know you can. You can totally do it. But again, the chords are just simply, and then you're inverting that. 4, 2, 4. Muting the A string and using the open E. And then using your ring finger on 4 to get that with, again, the A string being muted somehow. Magic, your finger, your dad can help, whatever you want to do. So, then you go back into the chorus again. And if you've listened to the song, you know that the way that we end that to go into the bridge part is we repeat this little this riff a couple of times, and the way that the second measure of the chorus ends is just. And if you want to get real cute, real grown and sexy, you just get nice and soft and do the last one like. It sounds good, and your parents will appreciate it. The whoa part is very simple. The chords, it's just like an E major, and then up to this 4 that we've been doing with the B and the E chords, and then that guy. But we also add this little inversion in just to give it some variance in the bridge. And it's just open A, 2 on the D, and then 1 on the G. So it should sound like this when you get to the whoa part. End that measure on this 2 thing again. And then what we're doing is we're actually switching back to this A chord type thing and descending from 4 to 2. So the very end where it uses the words from the chorus, but totally different music because none of us have any idea what we're doing when we write a song is. Slow down. When we do the slow down part and descend, we're adding the E string in to make it sound heavier. So you have 4 on the E being incorporated into this descending part of the progression, or the mosh part, as my mom likes to call it. So. When you end this and we get into the last part of the song, you're gonna start on this chord and you ascend from 4 to 6 on the D string while keeping the A string open, so you get this sort of effect. It's and then we're ending with. So you can figure out the rhythm by listening to the song, I'm sure, but it will sound like that. And the only thing that varies about this part is that the last measure, instead of descending, you just stay on this 2. That's the very last measure of that part. The end of the song is... We talked about this progression way back in the day, like 15 whole fucking minutes ago, and it just begins on 4 on the A string, 2 on the D string, 4 on the G string, keeping these beanies open all day, Brick Squad. Take your index or your ring finger off if that's how you are comfortable playing the chord. But either way, the only thing to keep in mind here is that we're switching from 4 on the A string to open A string. And you're going to maintain this shape. The way that I like to play it is I just leave my index finger and my pinky on 2 and 4 of the D and G strings, respectively. So it's very easy for me to move this shape around because with these two fingers kind of planted solid on the fretboard, it's a lot easier to maneuver the rest of your fingers, even if your dexterity is not that great or if you don't like to party. So it goes like this. That's the first chord. The second chord. The third chord is 4 on the E. And then we are still muting this A string. And then open on the E string. So it ends on an E major because it sounds happy. I love you. I love my parents. I love Buzz Lightyear. See ya.